this is specifically a Trump video that I'm doing separate. And so, and don't think for a moment here that this is about Trump worship. It's not. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm no fan of Biden. I think the guy, you can't string a sentence together and has no qualification to do any of this shit and should be, sent home to play with his fucking grandkids or something at this point, not doing the shit that he's doing. We all know that he's not in charge of anything. But for the Trump people out there, for the Trump cult, I really, 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 really hope that all of the Trump cult people see this. I know you're not going to, but it'd be cool if you did. He is not going to deport 30 to 50 million illegals, dude. He's not. That, you realize what that would do to corporate America? That would decimate corporate America. I would love to see it, right? As would most people who do as with most essential people. All those essential people out here in the real world. We would love to see all those people deported, because then our wages would get a chance to come up, right? The organic increase in wages would come up. They're not going to do that. They're not going to allow that. Trump's whole idea is we want to keep the dollar alive. Well, yeah, of course he wants to keep the dollar alive. Everything he has is based on dollars. So why wouldn't he want it to keep alive? I mean, it's a shit coin. The dollar's a shit coin, but he wants to keep it alive. So he's not going to implode the dollar. He's going to prop it up. None of these illegals get deported. There'll be a few hundred of them that'll get deported, and he'll grandstand on it or something like that. But he's not going to actually fucking deport all these people, dude. It's not. That's just not reality. Trump is not going to deport all of these people. He's not going to shut the H-1B scams off, and dude, that is a huge scam, and he's not going to shut that shit off. Big tech won't allow it. Big tech would destroy him, right? I mean, because big tech, needs that H-1B scam. They need that scam. Okay, so he's not going to undo that. He's not going to undo the birthright citizenship thing, because that'll be injunctified. There'll be, I'm not making that up. It'll get an injunction put on it by, again, some purple-haired Fruit Loop, in New York or something like that will and he's going to listen to it, because he's a law and order guy. His entire platform, the centerpiece of Trump. Look at his hair, dude. His hair should tell you he's all about law and order. He doesn't have the balls to do, anything that's going to upset the apple cart. Okay, boomers want to protect the boomer mindset, right? They don't want to shake up the apple cart. They don't want everything to come collapsing down. That's only the essential people that don't care if everything collapses down. They want to see real estate drop. They want to see real estate go back. These $400,000 322 shit boxes on zero lot lines, that have like 4 feet of backyard. They want to see those drop down to the $40,000. They probably should be. 400,000, 40, probably not even that in some cases. They're basically useless properties. I mean, you can live there, but that's it. There's no way to be self-sustaining with it. You can't grow a garden. And then you have an HOA up your ass about everything. So Trump is not going to undo any of that shit. He's not. No, I mean, what's the only way out of this, unfortunately, would be people understanding that you have to, first of all, stop backing that fucking blue. You have to stop that shit. You got to stop backing the fucking blue, because the blue are there to enforce law and order, right? And you guys all think that these guys are there to help you. No, law and order is there to make sure that you stay in poverty. Okay, because it's the foundation of all law. You realize the foundation of all law is not religion, right? Let me disabuse all of you Christians and Buddhists and Jews and Islam. Islamists, I guess. I don't know. Muslims. Let me disabuse all of you of this. The foundation of law is not your religion. Religion is a part of law. Law exists to keep, somewhere in history, somebody gets rich. And then they decide, hold on, I can't have anybody else do this, because if they do this, they're going to get rich too, and then I'll lose all my slaves. So quick, make a law that says somebody can't do what I just did. It's the foundation of all religions. It's the foundation of all law, all religions, etc. There are 2 laws on this planet. If you followed my work, you know what they are. The laws of physics and the laws of conscience. That's it. That's it. Those are the only 2 laws that are out there. Everything else is somebody trying to stay rich. Somebody who got rich and now they're trying to stay rich. and they don't want to have to actually keep doing any work. They want to be able to sit down and do nothing and have the slaves do it, right? So you guys who think that you're gonna vote your way out of this and they're gonna deport all these illegals, and then wages can come up organically, and it's gonna be all Trump is gonna be the most awesome guy, dude. He is not going to do any of that, any of it. None of it will. I will assure you, he will not do that. You can say, well, but he's better than the other guy. No. What you want is someone who will collapse it very quickly. I would suggest the fastest way that you would collapse this would be, none of you will do it because, for example, the losertardians and the right in particular are too sold out to their bullshit. Okay, they're just way too. Now, don't get me wrong, the left is a bunch of freak shows, but the right and the losertardians are sold out to their bullshit about, thinking that, well, no, we want to have, we don't want to have minimum wages, we don't want to have any of this stuff because that we don't want to mess with the markets, etc. You guys don't understand that the market is a counterfeit market anyway, right? And you guys don't seem to understand that. You keep trying to apply free market principles to a captured economy. Stop doing that. You look like fools. If you want to bring this down, and I'm convinced most of you don't, because you want delusions, right? Most people love their delusions. Left, right, center, doesn't matter. They love delusions. They love to live in a fantasy world. Okay, that's most people. Probably 80-90% of people. They love their fantasy world and they don't want to let go of it. And if you did want to have reality again, you wanted to have an honest economy, you wanted to have an honest currency and all that kind of stuff, you wanted to have all that, what you would do is you would demand to find politicians who will raise the minimum wage to $1,000 an hour. And you do it not because you're going to try and get rid of poverty. That's stupid, right? You understand. I understand the difference there, right? That doesn't solve poverty. What it does do is it gets rid of the dollar. It shows people on the left that you can't just print your way to prosperity, and it shows people on the right that you can't just pay for endless wars and prisons and lock people up you don't like. Like someone has to pay for that shit, and eventually you come back down to reality. Both sides come back down to reality, and they realize that somebody has to pay for this, and well, we don't have any money anymore, and we can't print any money. If we can't print it, that means we have to have people voluntarily pay for this, especially if we can't steal it from them. You understand? So if you want reality, then what you want is to be able to get rid of the dollar. And you do that by inflating it to the point of worthlessness. But none of you will do that because especially because on the right, because you're so sold out to your own bullshit about we want to keep this economy going, etc. No, you're just torturing everybody else. See, you all believe in your minds that you're all going to be in the top 1%. You're not. By definition, you can't be in the 1% because it wouldn't be called the 1%. Right? It's just like all the fucking weirdos going out there getting they're on their 4th goddamn doctorate, thinking that that's gonna, dude, you realize if you give everybody degrees in everything, right, then they become worthless. So by definition, you can't have that. But in your minds, you guys all think like this. You all think like that. And, and that level of hypocrisy will be your undoing, by the way. Until you start really thinking this shit through. So to the Trump people out there, I really hope that you listen to the whole thing, even though I know most people won't. But I hope you listen to the whole thing, and I hope you take away from this, understanding that you probably should go back to him and say, hey, hold on. How exactly do you plan on getting rid of these people? And what happens when the inevitable judge puts an injunction on it? Are you going to tell that judge to go fuck themselves and do it anyway? And fuck law and order? Or are you going to roll over and piss yourself like you've done every other time? Like you're doing right now? Why the fuck are you doing what you're doing right now? Rolling over, pissing yourself, giving New York $400 million? Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you. His answer should have been fuck you. But his answer wasn't fuck you because he doesn't have the fucking balls to do that shit. So, best of luck, but it ain't going to be what you think it's going to be.